Greetings. Let us take up a question from March 22 mock test paper in CA Intermediate. See, an organization has got a large volume of sales and purchases. So what approach of sampling will be adopted for them? Whenever we say sampling approach, there are two sampling approach, statistical sampling and non-statistical sampling. A statistical sampling will consider random selection technique, usage of probability theory, and it will also consider the measurement of sampling risk. It will measure the sampling risk. Whereas when it comes to non-statistical approach, it will consider the experience, the knowledge of the auditor based on which the sample is selected. When the volume of transaction is very high, it is always advisable that you adopt the statistical approach. Statistical approach is always recommended for the selection of sample. That's it. Sample should be selected based on the statistical sampling. That's the thing actually here. So now, in this case, what happens? The testing becomes more scientific in nature. That is the thing actually here. So now, in this case, what happens here? When you adopt a statistical sampling, so the testing becomes scientific in nature. So you follow the mathematical law of probability while determining the sample size. That is one thing. And statistical sampling, what happens actually, it is always useful to be applied for a population which is of having a large number of similar items, similar type of transaction. Example, say trade receivable, payroll. So these kind of items, it's always better to apply. And one big advantage is that there is no personal bias involved, absolutely no personal bias, which is there in the non-statistical approach. That's the thing here. So now in such case actually the results can be evaluated, it can be projected to the entire population. So that is why we go for what you can say a statistical sampling. Whenever the volume is very high, always go for statistical sampling. So here this is the question you have to justify. And also what happens, the sampling is more objective driven. That is one big advantage you get with the statistical sampling. Okay, since you apply the mathematical law of probability. Okay, fine. With this, we'll go to the next question.